بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما تعلمنا وزدنا بفضلك علما وتعليما إنك على كل شيء قدير. Seekers Hub Basic Arabic Reading. So today inshallah we'll be looking at 3 letter groups. So far we've seen a number of letter groups. We've seen many letters. We've seen the ba and the ta and the tha. We've seen that they're all the same shape with different dots. We've seen the jim, the ha and the kha with various different dots. We've seen the dal and the dhal with 1 dot difference. The ra and the zay. The sin and the sheen, sad and the dad and ta and the dha. So today we're looking at the ayn and the ghayn, the fa and the qaf and the kaf and the lam. So we've seen the ba, ta and tha. We've seen the jim, the ha and the kha. We've seen the dal and the dhal. We've seen the ra and the zay. The sin and the sheen. Sad and the lad. Ta and the dha. And now we want to look at these 3 groups, the ayn, the ghayn, fa, qaf and kaf and lam. So we have the letter ayn. Ayn. Now ayn is difficult because it does not exist in English at all. If we say the word apple and ant and at, we're getting close to the ayn, but it's not exactly the ayn. If we get this sound and we make it more acute, we'll actually find this point. So if we go to something a less acute sound like an o sound, say o, and then go and then go and then go We're actually opening our mouth more and more, changing the shape of our throat, and we actually get to this point where our throat will constrict in this strange way, which creates what we call the ayn letter. It's all English. Went more acute. We just keep going. That's called the ayn. It's a bit difficult, okay, but that's the ayn. So we keep going further and further back until we reach this ayn. Okay. Now this point of articulation, this point where the throat is merging, is not specific to the a sound. We can say the a. We can also say an I, and we can also say an O. So this is actually a consonant. It seems like a vowel really, but it's actually a consonant. It's actually a consonant, and it has these different vowels after it. So you can say a, O, I. You can have a kasra, dhamma, fatha, just like any other consonant. A, O, I. A, O, I. The trick is finding that point, and then from there you can go. It's a bit difficult, you have to work on it a bit. So once you've got that point, you're going to press your throat together in the same way. Right, this is the ayn. We can put an alif after it. Right, we can extend it like that as well. Right. Yeah, just like any other sound. Right. Tatatabba. We can also make it silent. Tatatabba. Notice here we have a ta ba followed by an ayn, and the ayn is silent, so we can hear the ayn being silent. It's a consonant like any other consonant. It can be silent. Tatatabba. Tatatabba. Okay, so we're going to close after fatha. You close into that place, and you get this sound a. Tattabi'. Tattabi'. So this is a kasra on the ba followed by a silent ayn. You can actually stop on it just like any other consonant. Tattabi'. So the key is knowing that place, and you're crushing your throat together or pressing your throat together at that point. Tatabbu'. Tatabbu'. So this is a and ba with a dhamma followed by a silent ayn. Tatabbu'. Right? And so this is a consonant just like any other consonant. You could pause on it. You could have a fatha or dhamma or kasra. Dar. Dar means a caller. Dar. So this is dal. So the long sound followed by a silent ayn. Dar. Ju'. Ju'. This is means hunger. Ju'. So here we're ending on an ayn after a long wow. Beer. Beer. It means it was sold. Beer. So we can see this is like any other consonant. So try your best. Work with this, idea. It doesn't exist in English, and any new sound is always difficult to learn. I don't know which languages it does exist in, but try your best. Another glottal or throat sound is the ghain. Ghain. And it does exist in English, because when you gargle, you say right? It does exist. Now, you get your kha that we've already learned, as in loch, or trabajo, say kha sound, and you go back, further back in the throat, right? And the grating sound is less. There's not less of a grating sound, right? You can imagine, something scratching against something, you can have a sound, but it's not really that. It's a slightly different sound, right? So further back, you go kha, ra, right? And this is not a French R. So in French we have the like tra, frère, and there's a different sound, right? We don't mean that. So further back in the throat. So ghara, that's the ghain. Ghara. غارة. غول. غيرة. This is the sound of the ghain, right? And it's not rolled. You don't say you can roll it, it's possible, but that's not how you say it in Arabic. It's not like that. Okay. So you say تغرب, not تغرب. تغرب means to set, as in the sun sets. تغرب. Yeah, you can do that, it's possible, but that's not how you're supposed to say it. تغرب. Baghdad is the city of Baghdad. Baghdad. So you're not grating so much. Baghdad. And so we have the ghain and we have the kha. Ghain, kha. The two different sounds. Neither of them exist in English, so it's a bit confusing, right? But you say ghaba, he was absent. Khaba, he came to loss or failed. Ghaba, khaba. Right? So that's the ayn and the kha. So that's the ayn and the ghain. And then we have the fa and the qaf. Okay, another one letter that's in English and another letter that's not in English. So the fa is an F sound and the qaf is a sound between the K and the G. So we have the fa as in fat, fish, fungus, normal F sound. Right, it's very simple. We put two dots on top of it instead of one, and we get qaf, complete different sound. Qaf, right, like Qur'an, qibla, right, facing the qibla, the direction of prayer. So what do? You get the K, step back, and you get the G, ka, ga. And then you go step back further, ka, ga, qa, right? So it doesn't exist in English, but in principle it's there, it's all part of the same mouth. Right? Fajr. So if you look at this shape at the beginning, it looks like this, and it has no tail. Fajr. Okay. Now, similarly here, it has no tail as well. It has, and so we just join it to the letter following it. Fajr, which is dawn, and Qahar. Ja'far, here is in the middle. We just join it on either side. Ja'far. And now once we have it at the end, as in, so here there's a qaf in the middle. Sadaqta, you spoke the truth. Sadaqta, here we can see it's joining after it. Here we have it at the end, it has this little tail. Sadaqta. So it's the same thing with the little tail. And here we have the fa at the end as well. Khafa, he was scared. We have the tail in the end. Okay. So these are these two groups, the fa and the qaf. And then we have kaf and lam, which are the K and the L in English. So we have cat, keep, cook. So in English we can use the C to represent the kaf. We can also represent the K. So cat, keep, cook. Ka sound. Right? Cooking or something. Ka. It's called the kaf. And it's quite different to the qaf. So we mentioned before, we say ka, closer to the front of the mouth, not at the front of the mouth, but closer further forward. Ka. And then we say ga, and then we say qa. Ka, ga, qa. Right, so this is a qa, qaf, kaf, qaf, kaf. Right, they're quite different sounds. Right? Kalb, a dog. Lut. This is the lamb here. This is Lut for meaning the sin of Lut. Right. Dhakara. Now the kaf looks very, very different in the middle of a word. Looks very different. Okay. This is what it looks like in the middle. Thuluth. This is a lamb in the middle. It's just like one long line. Lamb in the middle. Rabbuka. This is the kaf at the end. Looks very different. You put this squiggly line above it. Very different shape. No line coming out the top, and the squiggly line above it. Qabl, before. Qabl. This is our qaf at the beginning. This is our lam at the end. Qabl. Okay. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله